Good evening and thanks for joining us. We're starting with breaking news. A 23-year-old former teacher has been arrested for allegedly sending nude photos and videos to a teenage student and having a sexual relationship.
Police say the woman named Christmas White, who taught last year at Greenway Middle School, was arrested this morning and is now behind bars.
Team 12's Michael Dowdna is live for us outside the 4th Avenue jail. And Michael, what do we know so far about what happened?
Well, there's not too much we know, but what we do know is that Christmas White was essentially a teacher's aide, and that this investigation, which started last month, was looking into reports of a sexual relationship with a teenage student. That investigation resulting in Christmas being arrested on 2 counts, being booked here at the 4th Avenue jail.
August 26th, police start their investigation into Christmas White, a paraeducator on a short-term contract at Greenway Middle School. The investigation began after reports of a sexual relationship between a former employee of a school and a teen student. According to police, nude photos and videos of White were sent to a student's phone, leading to her arrest on 2 charges: aggravated luring of a minor for sex and furnishing obscene material to a minor. The Paradise Valley Unified School District sending this letter to parents. They say White worked during the last school year and her contract ended in May of this year. They say White passed all background checks. Now, the extent of the relationship, who was involved, and how long White allegedly sent nude photos and videos is at this point unknown.
And we are still working on collecting more information. In fact, we know, or we are told, that Christmas White will have her initial court appearance at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning here at the 4th Avenue jail. And when we hear from her and learn more information, we'll be sure to bring that to you. We're live outside the 4th Avenue jail. Michael Dowdna, 12 News.
All right, Michael, thanks.